Hey everyone, this is Stephanie from My Porch Prints. This is part 2 of my series on printing your Etsy files. In the previous video, I talked about printer and paper options. Today, I'm going to talk about file types like PDF, JPEG, etc., how to print two-sided, how to get JPEG files from a PDF file, and how to resize your printable images. This tutorial is for printing from a PC computer. Let's start with organizing your downloaded files. When you save your Etsy files, it's important to organize. I would suggest creating folders. To create a folder, right-click and choose New Folder. Organize first by the shop name where you purchased the items. Then inside that folder, you can create other folders based on themes or colors or seasons to organize further. For instance, all files from my shop could go in a folder titled My Porch Prints. Then inside that folder, you could have other folders such as Christmas or junk journal kits. Now let's talk about file types. Okay, so printables come in a variety of options. Some sellers provide PDF files, or JPEG files, or PNG, or zipped files. It's not really important to talk about what the letters stand for, but it is important to know the differences between the files. For instance, a zip file will need to be unzipped before you can access the printable files inside it. As of 2019, Etsy only allows sellers to upload 5 files for each listing, and each of those files can be no larger than 20 megabytes. So sellers sometimes place multiple files into a zipped folder to save space. If you don't have unzipping software on your computer, you'll need to download some. I won't go into this right now, but you can research it further by searching for how to open zipped files. PDF files usually cannot be altered, although some are set up so that you can change certain information inside them. Again, I won't go into that right now, but it's important to note that PDF files can have multiple pages within them. JPEG and PNG files can only have one page. They do not have multiple pages. PNG files usually have a clear background, which appears as checkers instead of white. They will still print on white paper like any other image, but the clear background means that you can layer them using photo editing software programs like Photoshop. Let's talk about getting JPEG files from a PDF. So let's say you purchase a PDF file, but you want JPEG files. There are ways to extract JPEG files from a PDF. If you have Acrobat Pro, you can do it by choosing File, Export, Image, JPEG. If you don't have Acrobat Pro, there are websites that will allow you to extract the JPEG files from a PDF. I will link to one of those below. Okay, now that you're all organized and know a little bit about the different file types, we're going to talk about printing your files. It's important to note that this process will look different on your computer than on mine. When you print a file, a box opens called a print dialog box, and it shows all your options like paper size, printer options, etc. This tutorial is just to help you navigate. Even if yours isn't exactly the same as the one shown here, I hope this will still help you to understand your printing options. Let's talk about printing a PDF two-sided. This is for printers that offer two-sided printing. If your printer doesn't do that, then you can print on one side of your paper and manually flip it over and print on the other side. To print two-sided, open your PDF. I like to see my page within my window, so I choose View, Zoom, Fit to Page. If you hit Ctrl-0 on your keyboard, it will also do this. This file consists of folder images and printable paper images. The papers are meant to print on the backs of the folders. Choose File, Print. Choose the pages you wish to print. For instance, I may only want to print page 1 with page 2 on the back of it, so I will choose page 1 and 2. Then click Properties. Again, yours may look different than this. I'm choosing duplex printing, but yours may say two-sided or something similar. It's important to make sure the information here is correct. My paper size is letter, And for my paper source, I'm choosing my rear printer tray because that has cardstock in it instead of regular paper, and I want my folders to be on cardstock. Then I go to Page Setup. Here I can tell it which direction to flip my paper. For this project, it's not important because I've designed this file so that it can be flipped any direction and it will still work. Some projects, though, are meant to print a certain way, and if you don't choose correctly, you can end up printing upside down, or so each side of your paper doesn't match up correctly. I'm very right-brained, so sometimes I get confused about how the paper will flip. I usually have to do a little trial and error to get these right. But luckily, many of my two-sided designs are created in a way that you don't have to worry about how the paper flips. When you're done, choose OK and OK to print. Now let's talk about resizing a PDF. To change your PDF size, go to File, Print. You have a couple of options here. One is to scale the page down by choosing Tile All Pages. Then you can scale to any size. If you want it half the size, choose 50%, and so on and so forth. The other option is to choose multiple pages per sheet. You can experiment until you find the size you want. You can't print the PDF larger unless you use a larger sheet of paper. It's not possible to print larger on this size paper because the image is already as large as the paper allows. Now let's talk about printing JPEG or PNG two-sided. As I mentioned before, JPEG and PNG files are single image files, where PDF files can contain many pages. A JPEG or PNG file only contains one page. However, if you want to print multiple JPEG files two-sided, you'll need to print the image on one side of the paper and then flip it over manually to print on the opposite side. You can also combine the JPEG or PNG files into a PDF document if your software allows it. Select all the JPEG images you want by holding down your Control key and clicking each one. Then right-click and choose Combine Supported Files in Acrobat. Let's talk about resizing JPEG or PNG files. When you open your file, if you notice part of the image is cut off, choose Shrink to Fit. This print dialog box gives me photo sizes for options. If I choose More Settings, it gives me options for printing multiple pages per sheet. But for some reason, it's telling me I can't. So I'm going to quickly show you how you can print multiple images using Microsoft Word. Open Word and choose New Blank Document. Again, yours may look different than my version. Drag and drop the image you want to print into Word. Double-click the image to bring up the picture toolbox. Choose Text Wrapping in front of text. Now you can resize and move your image on the page. Go back to Home and choose Copy Paste. You can also do this by selecting your image and choosing Ctrl-C to copy and Ctrl-V to paste. You can also add more images to the page by repeating this process. Once you have all the images you want, print the page by choosing Ctrl-P. These are just a few ways to print and resize your Etsy download files. I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching.